Hello and welcome. I'm so glad you're here. In case you don't know, I'm Christina Robinson with Preparation Films, and I've been a professional filmmaker for over 20 years, working on major studio and independent films and television shows both. And if you are taking this course, it means you want to learn about the foundations of what we do in professional filmmaking. You want to know about pre-production, production, post-production. And so we are going to cover all of that. We're going to cover what we do from the beginning of the process through the end of the process when we're making like a major studio production. And you are going to come through this with your own finished project. We have one important thing to cover first. Before we talk about cameras, scripts, or editing, we have to talk about responsibility. That is, in my opinion, equally important, if not the most important aspect of filmmaking. Every time someone watches a film, they're not just watching images. They are trusting the filmmaker to guide their attention, their emotions, their perspective. So whether you intend it or not, your film will have an effect on how someone feels, thinks, and sees the world. This means you have influence. You have a voice, and it matters. It's important. Responsible filmmaking is filmmaking that takes the audience's mental, emotional, and spiritual well-being into consideration. At the core, the definition of responsible filmmaking means every creative choice considers its impact on viewers. There's nothing gratuitous or purposefully harmful or exploitative. Content serves a story and message, not shock value. And we steward our audience's trust carefully. I'm going to give you 8 quick points about responsible filmmaking. 1, we are influencing people. Whether we mean to or not, it's the truth. Every film affects how people think, feel, and see the world. Even a short film. They shape emotion, normalize behavior, and reinforce or challenge beliefs. So, responsible filmmaking starts with admitting that we have influence. The moment someone presses play, you're influencing them. Responsible filmmaking means that we take that influence seriously. 2, audiences give us their trust. We don't waste it. When someone watches our film, they are giving their time, they are opening themselves up emotionally, they're letting us guide their attention. That is not a small thing. Responsible filmmaking means that we steward that trust carefully, not by being boring, but by being purposeful with our intentions. Our audience is trusting us with their attention and emotions. Responsible filmmakers don't take that lightly. 3, shock value is easy. Meaning is hard. Anyone can add violence, sex, add cruelty, add extreme content. That doesn't make a story powerful. Responsible filmmakers ask harder questions. Does this serve the story and the message? Or am I just trying to get a reaction? Because shock fades, but meaning lasts. 4, exploitation hurts real people, even when it's just a film. Some stories involve trauma, poverty, violence, faith, mental health. If handled carelessly, films can stereotype, re-traumatize, normalize harm, misrepresent real communities. Responsible filmmaking means asking, who could be hurt by how I'm telling this story? This isn't about censorship. It's about care. 5, you are building a reputation from day one. Here's something students rarely hear enough of. People remember how you make them feel and how you treat your audience. Your choices today shape whether people are going to want to work with you, whether audiences trust your story, whether your work is respected. Responsible filmmakers build their credibility one movie, one choice at a time. 6, filmmaking takes the audience's mental, emotional, and spiritual well-being into consideration. This means no manipulating pain for clicks, not glorifying harm, not numbing viewers to violence or cruelty. Responsible filmmakers ask, what am I leaving the audience with after the credits roll? An example would be Are you leaving them with the thought that violence is going to be the answer for something? 7, responsibility does not mean playing it safe. It doesn't mean avoiding hard topics. It doesn't mean making soft or boring films. It doesn't mean ignoring conflict or tension. It just means every choice has purpose. Nothing is gratuitous. The story earns its moments and the audience is respected. Responsible filmmaking isn't about avoiding truth. It's about telling the truth with care. And 8, here's a simple test question you can ask yourself. Who does this choice serve? Is this choice serving the story and the audience, or just a desire to provoke a reaction? I want you to remember, we don't have to be perfect to be responsible. We just have to care and have to ask the right questions. I'm going to include a rubric, a more detailed responsible filmmaking guide that you can use going forward for this film course and for any other film that you will ever do in your entire career, full stop. And it's going to help you judge for yourself. Am I being a responsible filmmaker right now? So here's your homework. 1, watch a short piece of content. Just choose one. It could be a short film. It could be a YouTube video. It could be a scene from a movie or a TV show, anything. It's 5 to 15 minutes long. And then you're going to ask yourself these questions. You can write them down. You can just ponder on them, whichever you prefer. What do I think the filmmaker wanted me to feel or think? Which moment felt the most intentional and why? Did anything feel included mainly to provoke a reaction rather than serve the story? And how did I feel after it ended? Okay, last thing. I want you to write a personal statement. As a filmmaker, I care about blank. This becomes your internal compass for the rest of the course. If you do nothing else in this course but learn to watch films with intention, you'll already be a better filmmaker. Now you're gonna learn a lot more than that in this course. But if you do that, even just doing that, and you're ahead of the game.